And I wanted to share some thoughts about manifestation and what it really is. What manifestation is co-creating with the universe. And just like when you're working with any person, any partner, you have to listen and pay attention to what your partner is saying. And in this case, much bigger than we are, the universe itself. So the first thing that you have to embrace is if you're asking for something to come into your life, it brings change with it. So the first thing in order for manifestation to be successful is embracing and accepting the responsibility of change. And it's in relation to the ask. So it could be a smaller ask, like hoping to get through traffic smoothly to get someplace on time, like work. Or it could be a bigger ask where you're trying to find something and having that synchronicity in order to find whatever that object is. Or even a bigger ask is to bring in something that would cause a complete life change, like moving into your career, having children come into, or if they're grown, out of your life, finding the love of your life. So in relation to the ask, whether it be small or big, will be the amount of energy, will be the amount of mindfulness that you have to use, and the acceptance of the responsibility of change. So the first thing would be to have, as I said to you before, the idea, a clearer picture, envisioning what it is that you would like to have happen. And being, how can I say, you don't have to go to every picayune little detail, but the clearer you are, then the stronger the energy that you send out. But as you know, it's not merely a thing of sending out energetics from the heart or projecting with your mind. There's also the actions, the living as if. So moving forward as if you're going to, again, the smaller ask, get to that place smoothly, whether it be at work or wherever you're headed for. That it will be easy to find whatever object this is. Or if it's something bigger, a career, something that brings an actual change of life. Even if you had a sudden loss in that envisioning of life being beautiful and whole again. Begin living as if moving forward in that direction, relaxing. What you're going to find is when you begin sending out the energy, when you begin moving as if, then it is like leading the dance. Again, the universe will respond. And at times, if you find resistance, it could be very much that your spirit guardians, your helpers, seen and unseen, if you have different obstacles, maybe, not the right timing for it. Or there are times you can feel a moving forward, but a little awkward, kind of stumbling into the dance. And what happens typically is, I'm talking about bigger things that you want to manifest, will be that you still have old energy, could be old thoughts, maybe loose ends that have to be tied up before you have the freedom to bring in what it is that you are asking for. So when this is true, what you're going to find is it can be a little bit confusing. It could be a mishmash of the old and then a spattering of new people, new information that could help you. When that happens, this is, again, the universe being a partner, a co-creator, showing to you, indicating to you, your guardian spirits indicating to you, you need to look at this. You have to resolve that. And think about it. When you're moving into, so we say, a new stage of your life, you want to live in a different way. What's going on is when you have these things pointed out to you, it could be old habits, it could be different people that, again, you need to finish what you're going to say to them in a complete, as I talked before about old business, right? So with that, pay attention and be present in that moment. Don't judge time, how long it took for you to get to this period of time. let that go. And when you're doing this, it's really a safeguard that Great Spirit is giving to you. The first one is, if you're moving into something new, you don't want to be reattracting the old, which we covered before. And you also don't want to say if there's something brand new, a brand new relationship, something that is just so clean and refreshing, that is completely untouched from the past. It really is what you wanted. You don't want to be carrying old shadows and old habits that, like the scorpion tail, will poison that future. And once again, ultimately it starts declining into being what you left behind. You don't want to be doing that. So with finishing the old, which I covered in a previous video about finishing, again, with old business, the next thing is when there is the new. And what will happen is, especially if there's more than one possibility, and if you had more than one ask at a time, more than one thing that you want to manifest, that can also be a little confusing. So what happens is that you're being shown options. A lot of times, I know many of you would wish that the universe, the skies apart, and the clouds, and the finger of God or fate, or however you see it, would point down and say, do this, go there. Well, it would be easier, but we wouldn't grow either. So when you're looking around and it might seem confusing, realize that these are possibilities. You're being asked to research, sample. We talked about living as if in your heart and in your mind. Here, each person, each opportunity is, if you will, a doorway to walk through and see, okay, if this type of relationship were in my life, what would this look like? How would it impact other areas of my life? If I lived this type of career or lifestyle, what type of people, what type of effort does it take? So take your time. I know so many times we get tired and we just want to get to it. Life is meant to be experienced. And the more you take the time to be present, to truly experience what it is that you're calling to yourself, and your eyes are open, you can make better choices. So once you begin to choose the people, the activities, what have you, that becomes a stepping stone. And then you grow into that. And then will come the next wave in this regard. And then you can grow into that. So it goes in stages. I wish this were, again, like Hollywood, where you go, and then next phase, like the genie, poof, there it is. But I'm grateful that the universe presents things in stages, because there's nothing worse than getting exactly what you asked for, arriving and going, wow, this really isn't what I thought it was going to be. And easy in is not always easy out. So replace that impatience with gratitude that you're being given the chance to walk into things a step at a time. And as you do, you can evaluate what's your happiness quotient. You can see, is the level of effort I'm putting into this thing, whatever this thing might be, is it worth the return that I'm getting? Is it what I even thought it really was? And it gives you that option, that informed option. Do I continue? Or do I say, you know what? I'm going to be changing direction. Or sometimes even it's going, you know what? This was an outright mistake. Thank you for letting me try it. Exactly. And then taking a step backwards. So don't feel badly if taking a step backwards is a direction. Sometimes that's necessary. It's called normal, even though we may not like it. Afterwards, you are arriving at what it is that you want to manifest. We would say on the Good Red Road to give gratitude to those who have helped you along the way, your helpers, seen and unseen, which again I'll be covering in another video. But along the way, even just saying thank you, showing appreciation. If someone has gone out of their way to introduce you to somebody, to give you something that can help you, acknowledge that. And if you want to go beyond a thank you, even say, you know, this helped me in this way, or this made me aware of X, then that person knows that it wasn't just, you know, thank you, did you use it, did you not use it? They really get to feel that you did try to connect with them, that you did use this gift, this piece of information, whatever it was, so that you can continue on your way. Finally, when manifestation happens, and it is a process, as you can hear, then making sure, and that was part of the growing process, is do you have what you need so that you can maintain what you've called to yourself? And how much, again, giving and receiving. So when you're there and you're, all right, I have received what I've asked for, prepare again, yep, for something to go wow, maybe a little bit of disorientation because, again, the bigger the ask, the bigger the change. Allow yourself the time to get reoriented. Allow yourself the time to say, you know what, I'm growing into this lifestyle. And appreciate that beginner's mind, you know, where everything is new again. And you allow, major word allow, the universe to participate. One thing that I did mention before that's going to be key is the universe is going to be setting the pace at times. It'd be great if you could, but I would rather that Great Spirit would set the pace for me. You know, that way I can focus on what I'm doing. You might feel very awkward, things moving too fast, things moving too slow. And I'm going to say something to you that you might say, trust yourself, trust the universe, trust the ones that walk with you, seen and unseen, especially the divine ones. And remember, trust is not this blind faith thing. Trust is built. So when you trust yourself, you know your strengths and your weaknesses. You know where you are trustworthy and areas where you're not, where you're going to be needing help with something. Again, you know your strengths. I did a previous video on that. You know your strengths. Great. You capitalize that. You recognize your weaknesses, what you're not able to do or do very well. Then you allow for others to participate in this. And what I would say is to use a graceful perseverance. Notice I didn't say patience. Patience is very passive. There are times for patience, but we're talking manifestation. Manifestation is a dynamic process. There'll be periods of rest and allowing the universe, again, if you have a dance partner, you take a step, and your dance partner takes a step back before you do so again. Having that awareness of how the universe is responding, allowing for those around you to complete their thoughts and share with you before you're busy rushing off to the next thing. Ultimately, when you have, where you just literally, it's participating with the flow, that trust is built on a track record. It's built on what has gone on before. And even if you found that your trust has been shattered, not everything has been. Build little things at a time. Trust the universe. It strives to harmony. Trust yourself. You will grow stronger what you do. Carefully pick the people around you and the activities, and trust that when you ask, they will help you in the way that you need. So with manifestation, looking at this as a co-creation is much better than an imposition of will. You know, if you try to box with God, guess who's going to win, right? Whichever you look at your life. Life is bigger than all of us together. But if you say, you know what, I'm glad I'm not alone. I am presenting what I want to have happen in my life. And with that, being aware, having that awareness, and having the universe participate and show you the pacing, showing you what's possible, protecting you. There are times that what you ask for is not good for you. It will go so much more smoothly for you. Again, graceful perseverance. Will you feel graceful all the time? I sure as heck don't. But that's part of the humanity. And let's face it, it'll give you stories to tell. So with that, my friends, I thank you so much. I'll be going into other videos and meditations as far as for an actual ritual for manifestation. But for now, do the steps as I've mentioned to you. You know, heart, feel the energy, focus with your mind, hands move as if. Once you put it out there, allow for the universe to present you with what needs to get done, whether it be stopping you, not a good idea, mixing future and past, things that need to be sorted out, and again with future, showing you the potential and growing into it step by step. Again, that perseverance, dancing with the universe. And I promise you that it does become easier as time goes on. And if you do that, trust the universe, trust in yourself, it'll be like dancing with the stars, and you'll be one of them. So until the next time we speak, my dear friends, bright blessings. Wanishi.